Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and former Democrat Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. Her career might finally be over. But before we get started, I always want to remind you to like, comment, share, and subscribe right down there. It really helps us out. So, Nancy Pelosi has been in Congress a long time. You know, when you talk about things, when you're in Congress and you can say, 30 years ago I did, then you know you're in there too long. Nancy Pelosi is 82 years old. She is filthy rich, and she is hanging on for dear life. I thought when she wasn't speaker anymore, she would leave. Nope. It must be such a great and cushy job. A job that helps you maybe pick stocks, pick the winners and losers in the stock market. Must be such a great job that people want to hang on to it until the very, very end. I can't understand wanting to work when you're 82 years old, but she does. And God bless her, she looks like she's in great shape. For 82. And I wish no harm on her. I think, you got a couple $100 million in the bank, might be time to retire. Maybe it's the power. Maybe it's hanging on to the power. But you see, the Democrat Party, there's a lot of infighting going on. A civil war of sorts. And, well, one faction is trying to push out the old guard. And that faction, believe it or not, you may know this name, is being led in large part by David Hogg. David Hogg, who is the, I believe, vice chair of the Democrat Party, which is crazy in and of itself. He's pushing to primary the old guard. He wants a more progressive Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez type of Congress. And speaking of her, she might actually go after Schumer for his Senate seat. You may see a much more socialist Democrat Party in less than a year. And I think if they do that, that's great for Republicans, because we're not a socialist or a communist country. And I pray we never will be. I want you guys to take a look at this and let me know what you think in the comments.
Political strategist and host of the TMB Problems podcast, Tiffany Marie Brannon, joins us now. Tiffany, good morning to you. So this is very interesting because there are several young Democrats running against the old guard, including a 37-year-old former staffer of Brad Sherman in California, who's 70 years old, now running against his boss, a 38-year-old former AOC staffer running against Nancy Pelosi as well. And now you have David Hogg. He's 25 years old, saying he wants to financially back these young candidates when typically the DNC and RNC stay out of these primary races. So this is being described as unprecedented. So what do you think about this? While unprecedented, is this a smart move by David Hogg and Democrats?
I think it's a desperate move. I think that at the end of the day, David Hogg is a 25-year-old Harvard grad who's a bit of a narcissist with a still yet undeveloped prefrontal cortex. And what we're seeing in this trend is the left starting to eat their own. What they're not realizing and recognizing and are starting to panic about is that they are not meeting the American people on the subjects that are most important to them. Look at the transgender issue. We have a 79% approval rating nationwide. That's 97% of Republicans and 67% of Democrats that believe that transgender athletes should be banned from women's sports. Regardless of this fact, we still have the left and people like David Hogg and the DNC fighting, tooth and nail to retain men that are transgender being in women's sports and in women's spaces. So we see this, young, hungry demographic that they are not necessarily wise. And I think that they are looking for 15 minutes of fame. I think that they are looking to sort of overthrow in a revolutionary way without really learning the lessons that have been so valuable for a lot of these people that have been there for years.
And Tiffany, you also had a lot of Democrats come out against the statement by David Hogg, really underlying